Compulsive complainer comes to my actual work and lies to my manager. A few years ago, I worked at a petrol station and the company owned supermarkets as well. My uniform was all black and had neon green edges on the polo with company petrol embroidered on the sleeve, back and the front. The supermarket has white and green checkered shirts and it could not look any different. After a shift one afternoon, I stopped by our company's supermarket across the road to get something for dinner and spotted one of her regulars who is a compulsive complainer. She once complained to me that our fuel pumps were too clean, just to give you an idea of the kind of woman I'm talking about. This is the interaction I had with her in full uniform at the produce section of the supermarket. "Excuse me, all your bananas are all bruised. Go get some more." "Oh, sorry, I don't work here. I work across the road. The produce manager was just here. Go let him know." "I know you work across the road, but this is company. You work for company. So go fix this before I file a complaint." Go ahead, you will look pretty stupid complaining about bananas being sold at a servo." Compulsive complainer huffed and stormed off, returning quickly with a produce manager. Excuse me sir, this woman here told me you were very rude. I'm going to..." He stops mid-sentence and looks at my uniform. "What did you say to this woman exactly?" She demanded I got fresh bananas, and when I told her I don't work here, she threatened me to come. "He told me to fuck off. I'm now demanding you fire him." Random legend who has apparently been watching the whole time. "Mate, you should fuck off, you entitled bitch. How stupid can you be?" She stormed out of the store, and after I'd finished shopping, I walked back across the road to my car in the staff park outside my petrol station to see Cece in a heated discussion with my manager through the windows. I went inside to clear things up. "That's him. That's the rude man." Cosmic Sales, can you explain what happened there?" She demanded I get fresh bananas at the supermarket, and when I let her know I didn't work there, she went off the "Don't lie, you stupid beep." Cosmic Sales, can you come around behind the counter please? I go through the secure door to get behind the counter, looking obviously confused because compulsive complainer has a smug "I got you now" look on her face. "Now, compulsive complainer, you will have to leave. My employee will never act this way, and we have a no tolerance policy on abusive customers." "I will have your jobs for this. You can't treat a customer like this. Never in my life has anyone been so rude to me." My manager says to me calmly to me while she's screaming at us, "Call the police." The compulsive complainer froze while I went to the phone and started dialing the police. She was obviously weighing up her options, and for some reason, she thought her best course of action was to run. Now, I don't know if anyone sees a 60-plus woman in raised flats try to do a 180 and sprint across vacant floors, but it resembles Marquez trying to sprint across ice flats. I put the phone down, and my manager printed a picture for the do not serve list, and we went on with our lives. She never came back while I was there, but I saw her today in the same supermarket complaining about something meaningless to a poor kid. "No, I'm a paramedic. I don't work here." Years ago, I was a paramedic and worked for a hospital in my city. My uniform was blue pants and a blue polo shirt with the name of the hospital, and it also says Emergency Medical Services underneath that. So I wear blue work pants with the extra pockets like cargo pants, and I have my stethoscope around my neck. I am in the automotive section looking for light bulbs for my car. M stands for me, D for delusional lady, and W for the Walmart manager. I am on my phone, chatting and looking at which part I need when someone taps on the shoulder kinda aggressively, which immediately pisses me off. I turn around. "Where are the regular light bulbs at?" Me just staring at her very blankly because I was confused at first. "I said, where are the regular light bulbs at?" Yes, she started yelling at me, which pissed me off. A 5'9", 235 pounds muscular guy off. I only mentioned this because 1, I was a gym rat back then, and 2, she was maybe 5 and 100 pounds on a good day. I pointed to my neck and my chest because, well, you treat me like an idiot, I will reply in kind. "What is that supposed to mean? I want to know where the light bulbs are at." "Did you see..." "You want to get smarter with me? Fine, I will find your manager, you idiot." I yelled at her, "Get the off of my face and don't touch me again, bitch!" She runs away and go back to shopping. Cute 2 minutes later, she's got a poor manager who looks flustered and points to me. There's your employee. He threatened me. The manager looks at her incredulously and says, he's a paramedic. He doesn't work here. Yes, he does. Look at the uniform. I'm calling the cops. Do you want that bit? But it's clear from his stethoscope, an emblem, that he's a paramedic, not one of her employees. He threatened me. You have it on camera. Let's see the cameras where you approached me and started yelling at me first, and then me yelling back at you, but never actually approaching you. I think the police will be real interested in you physically touching me and technically assaulting me. Well, I'm going to call you work and tell them what you did. Go ahead. Here's a pen with a number on it. Just ask for my boss. And before you do, know that I am almost done school for something different and I am about to quit anyway. I hold the pen out to her and she mutters and huffs and puffs away. You okay? I'm fine. The manager just shakes his head and says, when you're done grabbing your stuff, I will be at this section. I will ring you up. It was close to the holidays, so the lines were super long because, well, it's Walmart. I got my things and check out in record time. As I'm leaving the store, I see the lady with a few items and the only lines open are the regular lines, no express. I walk by and hold up my bag and give her the biggest shit-eating grin and wave. Her face became redder than a tomato with anger, lol. Man mistakes a kid for an employee and keeps asking where cornflakes are. So I was minding my own business in a grocery store when an old man approached me and I figured he needed some help in finding his products. Hi, do you know where cornflakes are? You mean cornflakes, sir? Yes, cornflakes. So, to help this old man out, I redirect him to the aisle where cornflakes are. These are not cornflakes. They are, sir. Look, it even says on the price tag, cornflakes. But I need cornflakes. You're an employee. You should know where cornflakes are. Sir, I help you find cornflakes, but I am not an employee. Just so you know, it should be fairly obvious that I am a 13 years old, wearing pretty stupid clothes and don't have a job. Okay, thanks for the help, I guess. I go back to picking up items from my list, and 20 seconds later, he comes back to me and asks, where are cornflakes? Sir, I already redirected you to the aisle. It's right there, and I point to the aisle. Those are not cornflakes. Come on, you work here. This is bad customer service. I'll talk to your manager. Talk to him as much as you want. I don't work here. I get it, he's old and all, but bruh. I don't work here, but I used to. So something a little lighter than the usual post of customer harassing people who don't work there. I worked in a small local coffee shop in college. Nice little place owned by a husband and wife. Daughter was the manager, and I think the most employees there ever were maybe 12. It was a pretty nice and casual place to work with tons of drama near the end, but those are stories for another time and another sub. Worth noting that when workers were not on shift, we could still go behind the counter and ring ourselves up and make our own drinks if it wasn't super busy, as not to get in the way of people's working. So I graduated this last May, and by late August, I had found a job in my field and quit at the coffee shop. The owner and manager loved me and said I could come back anytime and make my own drinks if I still wanted to. So, about a month after I moved away for my new job in a new city, I came back to visit and wanted to say hi to my old co-workers and get some of that delicious coffee. I chatted with the people working for a few minutes before asking them if I could just make my own drink, and they had rung up for me. They said, of course, and I washed my hands and went behind the counter. It was quiet at the moment, so one went into the kitchen to do the dishes and the other went in the customers area to clean up some. As I am making my own drink, a customer comes to the register. I tell them that someone will be there to help in just a moment, and I tried calling to my co-worker in the kitchen, but they could not hear me, so I just go over to the register to reg them up myself. Worth noting that there were no uniforms other than maybe wearing an apron if you felt like it wasn't necessary. Only difference in appearance between me and the people working was that my hair was down, so some random customers would have no idea I didn't actually work there, especially being behind a counter and making coffee. So I rigged them up and a line starts to form. One of the old regulars that I will chat with when I worked there was in line and had this wonderfully confused expression on their face. When I'm grabbing food out of the bakery case for the person in front of them, they ask, "Hey, Zanzibar?" "You don't work here anymore?" And I laugh back and say, "Nope, but I guess I am working now." Anyway, the customer in front of the regular looked so terribly confused but didn't say anything as I finished up the transaction. And by this time, both the people actually working here, both pulling shots and steaming milk on the machine to keep up with drinks, so I was kind of stuck on the register. And after the mini rush ended, my old coworkers thanked me for helping out when it got busy and gave me a free muffin for my time. On my way out, one of the people who I had rung up stopped me and asked if I could get her a refill of her coffee. I told her, "Actually, I don't work here, but if you go up to the counter, I'm sure they can help you there." And I left. I'm sure that must have been very confusing for her, but whatever. I got my muffin and my coffee and I needed to be off. I was asking for it. This is a fun one, enjoy. So I work for a retail chain in the service station division, so my uniform is almost the same as the supermarket division, and a long running joke I have pulled on my customers is to tell them in a very serious voice when they walk in with alcohol that, "Sorry, we don't allow alcohol in here. I am going to have to confiscate that of you." I usually get a look of disbelief and then a sly smile when they realize I am just joking, just keeping my customers on their toes, and I am yet to convince anyone to hand over their sweet grog, but the closest was not at my work. I usually go shopping after work at the local supermarket, yes, our chain, and this day I was standing around looking at what I wanted to get. A couple walked past. The guy has a six-pack in hand. I just think, what the heck, so put on my Arthurian voice and go, "I'm sorry, we don't allow alcohol in here, so I am going to have to confiscate that of you." And to my surprise, the guy starts heading it over before his partner held back his hand and pointed out that I did not work here. So close. Yes, this is more, "You don't work here, lady," but I thought it would be a nice change. Edit. I see people are quite taken back. I used to do this quite often as I worked next to a pub. I was reminded of this because a guy came in this week with a cask of wine. We had a laugh, ended up chatting, and I do it in good humor. Never ever try to take the alcohol and have a smile on my face. Most people count on them pretty quickly, and that is why it works. I am not trying to fool anyone. Not a bouncer. I actually have quite a number of stories along these lines, and I honestly don't know why. And for context, at work I wear a uniform, a very obvious uniform. So people asking me questions there make sense. And I am used to it, that when I'm in other places and get questions, I will help people out automatically. That being said, all these other places tend to have a defined uniform, and I wear a kilt and a comfy t-shirt or a plain button down when not at work. This story happens at the bar I frequent. I go there to dance, and I was going between the two dance floors like normal, and most likely had been seen by this drunk chick helping a couple of people out. Nothing out of the normal. She then grabs me as I was walking by and points to a chick and says, "She is trash. You need to get her out of here." To which I respond, "Sorry, what?" I am genuinely not catching what the hell she means by this. It is loud and she is also nowhere near sober. She then repeats, "My friend is fully intoxicated. You need to escort her out." To which I respond, "Sorry, I can't help. I don't work here." She then calls BS and says, "You're a bouncer. Now go do your job." I again let her know that I don't work there. She then tugs at my t-shirt and says, "Then why the hell are you wearing this?" Please note, the bouncers all wear black t-shirts that say security on them. I am wearing a fluorescent orange shirt with the name of my gym on it. Also note that all the bouncers wear jeans and boots while I am wearing a kilt and loafers. I explain that this is a gym shirt and point out an actual bouncer who happened to be walking near us. I stop in and say she has something she needs to ask you, and she proceeds to tell him she wants him to help with her friend. She then says, "And this guy was no help at all. You should talk to your manager about him." At which point he looks at me with a "what the heck" look. I am buddies with him, but he knows I don't work there and tells her that. Then she repeats the same, "Then why is he wearing that?" He then says, "What, a t-shirt and a F kilt?" I leave at that point. I swear, I think she still thinks I work there. The rest of the night went pretty well though. Got a few hours of line dancing in. I don't really want to take the arms off that. Last week I was shopping at the Red Star department store with my sister. She was looking for a white dress for her upcoming courthouse wedding, and we located a tiny section of plus-size dresses in the corner of the dirty and diggy lower level. There were several registers down there, but we didn't see an employee for the nearly 2 hours we went there. Well, we may have seen a consultant type employee, and there was a lady going around inventorying and organizing clothing from a certain designer, but I did not get the impression she actually worked for Red Star department store. At one point, I went to grab a dress for my sister in a different size and bring it to her in the fitting room. I was wearing my casual work outfit, gray dress pant yoga pants, and a cheap blue polo. Also had my backpack purse and coat on. Me stands for me, CC for the confused consultant, and OL for the old lady. I was on my return trip to the fitting room when I saw CC grab a female mannequin and twist its arm. "Hey!" Me keeping walking and head down. "Hey! Take the arms off this!" I stop about 20 feet away. "What?" "She wants to buy this." And she gestured to the old woman next to her. And I continued to stare. "So take the arms off so she can buy the shirt?" "I don't work here." "What?" "I don't work here." "But I really want this shirt." And I just stare at them. And the confused consultant and the old woman stare at me. "We saw you come out of the fitting room." "Yeah, and I don't work here." "Don't you work here?" At that point, I walked away. When we left a little while later, the mannequin was still there, but the arms were both twisted and facing the wrong way. It was a little freaky in that nasty department store basement.